Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host Trey and Lisa Marie. How you doing, Lisa Marie?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I hope you are.
I am doing great. I am doing great. It is February. You feel me? We are out of that crazy month we just had, and
Yeah.
and it's kind of like we're past it, but there's certainly some things that we can't forget that took place. But it is a pleasure to be in the month of February.
You think we're past? I feel like this year is going to be quite the roller coaster.
Yeah, every year certainly is, you know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah,
as
but this
far
is
as like
unprecedented.
January was wild.
I mean, even the weather was wild, right? Because it was
Yeah.
17 degrees where we lived last week or a week and a half ago, and it was 68 this weekend. So had snow
Yeah.
on the ground last week.
Yeah.
Everything's crazy.
So we gotta have
Wildfires, plane crashes.
right. We gotta hash through it, right? We gotta hash through it. So the LA fires, as you mentioned, the planes crashing, the terrorist attacks, the explosion of a cyber truck in front of a Trump tower, um, the drone continuation, cyber attacks,
The
um,
Target confusion. I know you've heard about that, right?
the Target confusion, the Costco shindig, the Bigfoot had a baby, Superman is real. Like, it was January, it was wild. It was a wild month.
I know. Target
Yeah.
was, 10 toes down and saying that they're not rocking with DEI. But if you go into a Target, at least in my local area, they
Yeah.
have the biggest Black History Month display with clothing for Black History Month for people to purchase. I
Oh
thought that
yeah,
was,
they yes. Black History Month is recognized all across the globe. They got to recognize. So Black History Month ain't got nothing to do with DEI. You feel me?
I, I, I understand that, but it's like that's still, you're recognizing diversity when it comes to making that dollar. But when it comes to integrating it into your workforce, you don't recognize it. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Look, Target said at the end of the day, look, you still gonna spend your bread here. What you gonna do about it?
Well, I do have to say to the audience members, if you are a Black person or African American or whatever you refer to yourself as, and you are planning on boycott, please don't be those same Black or African American people that ask Black owned businesses for a discount.
All right. Hey,
Just
hey,
thought I'd
man. Hey, man. Can
no,
you take up
mm-mm,
20%? Can you
no.
take up
Mm-mm.
25%?
Since y'all
I'm
want to
a,
stand, they want to stand 10 toes down and support. Don't ask for a discount. Pay the price that's listed with that business.
I'm so glad you said that. As a business owner, I'm gonna
Hmm.
start putting tariffs on my customers. I'm just saying. Tariffs. So 25% tariffs on my customers. You feel me? Yeah. So let's jump into that, right? We understand the tariffs are becoming a topic of discussion. As usual, I would like to get your thoughts before I jump into it. But if you want me to jump in first, I can. But I'll let you. I'll cede the floor to what direction you'd like to go in.
um, so before we jump in that real quick, I just want to make a quick
Yeah.
statement. I would like to give a shout out to the streaming platform Twitch for banning DJ Academics. Appreciate that. Good work.
Oh yeah. Round of applause. Yeah, round of applause for
Yeah,
banning him.
love that.
Explain for those who don't know. Many people don't know who he is.
So DJ
Please explain what
Academics,
happened.
he has one of the largest streaming platforms on Twitch. And he was in a Discord room with a minor and two or three of his other little cronies. And long story short, they were making inappropriate sexual comments to this young man who corrected them not once, not twice, maybe three or four times that A, I'm 15,
Mm-hmm.
B, I don't have anything to do with that. C, the person you're asking me to hook up with could be catching a case. Like the minor in the room had to correct the older men, and they kept going. And I think at one point, when the minor told DJ Academics how old he was, he literally said, "So, what?"
Mhm.
And then he gets the backlash, and this numbnuts has the audacity. Well, first he crashed out and screamed and said he had a bunch of money and he's got a bunch of sponsors and he'll be back bigger and better than ever. And I guess that didn't hit the way he thought it was going to hit. And so he came back more, I guess for him, humble, and said that the narcissism. It was a teachable moment. He thought it was talking to the little homie, and we all can learn from this. So, in my opinion, I don't think he still took full accountability. But long story short, that's what happened, and Twitch ended up banning him because that is where he makes, I want to say, 98% of his income. He claims he has other businesses. No one knows if there's other businesses, but that definitely hit him in the pockets. They did not specify if it was a permanent ban, but at least for right now, he is banned off of the platform that allows him to live the lifestyle that he has.
Good. Yeah, he should be banned for life. Actually, I've been on his head on X. I said, he should be banned from Twitch, Discord, X, Instagram, all the social platforms. He needs to get banned from. I mean, his behavior was definitely upsetting. And many people had an issue with it, and I'm glad that so many people didn't let up. And that kind of goes to the point of so many people think that you can't be effective just by getting online and making demands, but it was definitely through the effort of people online reaching out to Twitch and hopefully these other platforms to get him deplatformed. So I'm definitely
He's definitely
excited
a
about
predator,
that.
though, Tracy. Because he was way too comfortable in the interaction. I think you heard the audio. I just think the reason why he's trying to appear like he's sorry is because someone screen recorded that interaction. But I don't think that was the first time he's ever done that. He has grave allegations, assault allegations, mostly involving women. So he's got issues.
Well,
Allegedly, I should say allegedly.
yeah, well, to hell with him. So, yeah, to hell with that guy for real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so let's jump into, since you want to talk about that, I'll just jump into the tariffs.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we'll get your perspective on it. So, obviously, the Trump administration said that they were going to put tariffs on Canada, 25%, Mexico, 25%, and China, 10%. And so, just to simplify it, tariffs mean that it's a taxation on goods that are part of trade. So,
and who's paying that?
In turn, what that means is you and I and the citizens of this country and those countries will pay more because of the tariffs. And so it's understood by many that it's going to cause a level of pain financially for some. But it may not be actually as extreme as some think, because it's not like it's not like we import as much as people would think from Canada or Mexico. I mean, it is something, but the prices that we see when we purchase the things that we need, the increases may not be that drastic. But for Mexico and Canada, they may very well be pretty drastic for them. And so as we move forward, the way that I think about it is there's going to be essentially a war between the citizens of who can withstand the longest in terms of the prices being higher, escalated, inflation, So whoever can withstand it the longest, I think, wins this trade war. And on top of it, just like Colombia, when we were sending the immigrants to Colombia and then the president said no, and then those tariffs got slapped on him, and then the threats of 50% the next week, and he changed course. I do think that Mexico and Canada are going to fold really soon rather than later. But I do not think China will fold as quickly. But I could be wrong with that as well, because China's economy is in a different place than we've historically known it to be for the last maybe 15 years, 20 years. So the tariffs, are certainly going to cause prices to go up on some of the things like, alcohol, what else? Maple syrup. So if you like your Egos, which is syrup, from Canada, that's going to go up. Oil prices, clothing, tequila, and some other items. So, this is going to be an interesting time. Again, I don't think it's time for people to panic about anything, but the prices are going to go up. I think they'll be minimal, but I think we'll win this trade war, because I'm listening to, I call him Blackface Trudeau. I'm listening to Blackface Trudeau, and he was talking kind of sideways today about, our government and the approach they're taking. And to me, this guy, Blackface Trudeau, has lost so much credibility. Like, he literally quit a couple weeks ago saying, he's ready to step down, and whoever is ready to take over the country after, an election, he's all for it. And he talked really, tough up until this month. And then when that conversation started happening about, Canada becoming maybe the 51st state, which I don't think is a good idea. I'd rather see Mexico first, But, Blackface Trudeau talking greasy like he does is just going to make it tougher for Canadians. And I think that the Canadians will essentially, I don't think it'll take long. Like I said, I think sooner rather than later, the Canadians will storm the castle, and they'll demand that Blackface Trudeau negotiate. And it's amazing, like, that it even got to this point, because all these countries had to do was negotiate. And so here we are. Again, I don't think China will fold as quickly, but China's in a different place as well with their economy. So I don't know, but I don't see us losing it. I don't see us losing the trade war.
But do you think Doug Ford's threat is I guess Justin Trudeau's is in lieu of Doug Ford's threat?
I'm sorry, I was taking a sip. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
So I initially heard about the threat that Doug Ford imposed regarding the electricity, but after that, Justin Trudeau came out. So are they coming at the tariff request from different perspectives, or is Justin Trudeau taking over, or is Doug Ford going to stand 10 toes down on what he said? Like, how are they working in concert regarding the tariffs?
Canada is in flux right now.
Okay.
There is no parliament. It's closed. Like,
okay.
There is no working in tandem. It's a divided country right now. So it's like, who's even leading the charge?
So he could potentially cut the power then, even if Justin and if Trudeau and Trump come to an agreement, Doug Ford, I think, who is in Ontario, can still say, yeah, I'm not good with it. I'm still taking out, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and upstate New York.
Yeah, that's not happening. You think any territory in Canada would cut off power to the United States?
You know what? If you
really
listen to me, 2 years ago, I would have told you no, but you have to admit, regarding politics, no, not politics, just regarding what's gone on just in the last 12 months, at this point, I mean, even the drones, at this point, I'm expecting to look out my window and see a spacecraft land. So I don't know, Tracy. It's been so wild. Nothing has been,
No.
we've not been able to predict anything.
So this kind of, I guess that seems ridiculous to me, and the reason is
I mean,
because
it does, but
I think about Ukraine and Russia, right? And
mhm,
when that war started, there's certainly it's known that there was a pipeline, is a pipeline going from Russia through Ukraine to EU, and Russia supplies the oil, the natural gases to the EU,
mhm, mhm,
and anybody can fact check that. But no one was cutting that off. No one was going to those fields and blowing those things up. Um, and so, I mean, this is not even a war, right? It's just
right.
rhetoric. People are talking. Nobody's losing their life, and so this is just a matter of who is trying to act big and bad in front of their citizens, in front of their fellow politicians, because this is an opportunity for people in politics, in the military, in particular, like Canada, um, to gain, I guess, favorability
Mhm,
by becoming more populist with Canadians,
mhm.
more nationalist with Canadians. But you don't want to play that game with the United States. It's like it's different if I don't even think you would have wanted to play this game with Joe Biden. And so you damn sure wouldn't want to play it with Trump.
Well, and that's an interesting point. Is it because it's coming from Trump, or if it was someone else saying it, would it have not been met with such um anger? See what I'm saying?
They thought he was bluffing.
Okay.
Just like the Colombian president Trump thought Trump was bluffing.
Mhm.
These are not bluffs. These are I'm going to do X, and they don't believe him. And then when he does it, they start crying. Because like when I watch some of the footage from Trudeau and
Mhm.
some of the other politicians there, they're talking like, yeah, we didn't think he was serious. We're smarter than the Americans anyway, so it doesn't matter. And as you continue to listen days after, right, it's like then it went from that to, uh, um, don't buy any Florida orange juice. Don't buy any bourbon from America. Buy Canadian owned alcohol. And it's like now they're beginning to see how serious it is. They're telling their citizens buy Canadian first. And I don't know if anybody's been on an island in an echo chamber or anything like that, but here in America, we've been told ad nauseum that we were gonna and began at some point to start putting America first.
Mhm.
Even if you look at the the Biden administration, yeah, there was some missteps with that administration, a lot of criticism you could provide to it. But regardless, we started to make different moves globally um, in order to set ourselves up to do things more in-house.
Mhm.
And regardless of what the politicians in our government has been talking about, the people of America, the psyche and the ideologies have shifted
Yes.
to where I'm certain, like many of us, when we go to the stores now, we're like, "Where's that product from? Oh, that's from China. Let me see. Is there anything American here? Yeah, I'll buy American.
Right.
Oh, where's that? So we've been on that wave for a while now. And Canada's a much smaller country, just like Mexico is. And they're not prepared for something like this.
Yeah.
No. And Mexico with, you know, the amount of issues it has, like Mexico is in a situation that at any given moment they could have a dramatic earthquake that could damage the country
Mhm.
and economically hurted.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they have, crime issues, they have the immigration issue, they have all these different things going on, and they want to develop further as a country that is well respected around the world. And so they really can't afford to play this game either. And I can't imagine that the Mexican people, many of whom want to come to the United States of America, would stay in a country that is more expensive next week than it was last week.
Right.
And they don't like it anyway.
Yeah.
And so as much as we as Americans may talk about, oh, well, I don't like it here. The things that are afforded here, are certainly different than any other country. But for the people who talk about, oh, they're going to leave, if there's a 50-cent increase in their gasoline, I really don't think they're going anywhere.
Anytime somebody tells you that, though, they're not serious. Why announce it? Just leave.
Right. Y'all go on get. Go on get. That's my perspective.
You don't need to announce it.
No, you don't. You don't need to announce it. But
you're just doing that for attention.
Yeah, that's my take on it. Blackface Trudeau is once again leading Canadians down a path that was unnecessary because he had the opportunity to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I don't know if we actually talked about it on the show, but when Trump said that he would, like to make Canada the 51st state,
mm-hmm.
people thought it was a joke. I didn't take it as a joke. He said he'd be a better governor than a leader of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And here we are. So that was the poking and prodding of, hey, come to the table and really talk, because obviously I don't respect you enough based on this perceived relationship we have. I don't respect you. I don't respect you.
Yeah. The tariffs went into effect. Yes, was it effective February 1st, or
so
is it Monday?
They passed them, but they're not officially effective until the 4th, so Tuesday.
So Tuesday should be interesting.
Yeah. And again, it's not like you're not going to go to the store. Canadians are not going to go to the store and prices are double and triple. That's not where we are. You may see, I don't know, if you're getting syrup, and syrup is what? Maybe the average bottle is $3 or $4, $5 something. It's not going to be $10.
Yeah, I don't think our prices ever recovered since COVID. I think once COVID happened, I don't think they've ever come down. And I don't know if I'm more worried. I'm not going to use the word worried, because I'm not worried, or concerned. I guess I'll say I wonder if we're going to see more increase in pricing or food shortages, or a combination of both.
We may see a combination of both. And so that would increase inflation.
Right.
Which, would certainly upset us. But
right.
They'll have to contend with that as well. And whoever can't withstand, whoever if you lose the quiet game, then you lose the negotiation.
Right.
And so that would lend anyone to believe that, that America comes out advantaged in this situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, look, and I was thinking about this too, for the people who like Trump, the people who hate him, we're obviously all in the same boat.
100%.
So
across party lines, across race, gender,
right,
all of it.
So whoever you are, you're a part of the price increases in life. But think about how many people this does not affect. People who are doing really well and they're still going to order Amazon deliveries from Whole Foods, and Amazon Flex driver delivers it. and they live in 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes. Like they're not concerned with this. They may talk like they are, but this is the price is increasing wouldn't affect them, you know.
Right.
And
But
for the
I
people,
think there's more common folks than those folks.
yeah. I mean, but even for those common folks, it's like, well, do you really need that maple syrup from
Right.
Canada?
Right.
What's wrong? What's wrong with the maple syrup from Ghana?
Well, I mean, even
What,
buying
yeah,
local, you have local farmers.
local, yeah, local. Like, I mean, it's yeah, people are certainly going to make it bigger than what it needs to be,
And this
but
might
it's a
be
part of the ball
actually
game.
beneficiary to our local small businesses to maybe get more of that business that they weren't getting. So instead of buying your fruit, especially since we're about to get into the spring, instead of buying your fruit at Trader Joe's, which I love, and all those other places, maybe, buy them from local farmers.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, and it's Black History Month. So where the black farmers at? Hey, where the black farmers? You know,
Listen,
fine.
Black history is every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it though? No, I was playing, but no, I don't want to. I
Listen,
don't want to jump
when
there.
we
No,
make the news somehow.
but yeah, this is a hot topic. I was actually before we jumped on. I've been watching for days, just like an enormous amount of tariff videos
Mm-hmm.
and the conversations between people, and it never fails that the question you always have to ask when you listen to these dumbass talking heads is who do you blame, and what side, whose team are you on essentially?
Have you ever seen Ferris Bueller?
Yes,
So do you remember the
classic.
scene where the teacher is talking about tariffs and how it led to the Great Depression?
No,
You don't remember that?
no,
You don't remember that
no.
scene? Okay.
I remember him saying Bueller, Bueller. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? Side
What?
note, that guy gave the commencement at my graduation.
The teacher in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Why did he go to
No, he didn't go to my school. He just somehow that's who they wanted. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
So a little nostalgic when that happened. But yeah. So yeah, I mean people have to this and from this you do get to see the true colors of your neighbors, right? It's like you literally have people who are American citizens who would rather see the citizens of Canada beat us in this trade war, the citizens of Mexico, the citizens of China, because there's so much vitriol and hate for this administration.
Right.
And you also have those people that are like, bring it on in terms of they want regular people to experience so much pain. So let's say the people who are anti-Trump, they want him to ruin things so bad. So the tariffs go from 25% to let's say 200%. They want that so that you and I can spend more money for our day-to-day goods. And 4 years from now, they take the administration over. Right? So there's so many dynamics of this that have to be understood. But I like what you said about just as regular people, buying locally, and whatever little bit of money you have, if you can buy, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but if you can buy as many of those day-to-day items as you can, to maybe get a week or 2 weeks or a month ahead, I think that'd be great because I don't think this is going to take long to resolve. And I
Right.
could completely be wrong. In politics, you never know. but whatever little bit you have, take that. And if you do have to buy some of those things, which I can't necessarily see why, that are affected by the tariffs, um, do that and stockpile a little bit. And it goes back, I don't know if you remember, Lisa, we were talking last year about prepping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole concept behind prepping. It's like when you prep, you're not just prepping for a doomsday event, like a war, nuclear explosion. You're prepping for natural disasters. You're prepping for price increases, all these different things. And
Right.
so, unbeknownst to a lot of people, Walmart started prepping last year. So they started, I forget the particular word it is, but they have these, obviously huge warehouses. And there's another company, I think it's called ITS, along with some of these other huge companies. They started to front load their product.
Okay. Okay.
So that way, by the time Trump got into office and the tariff war began, they wouldn't have to turn the dial up on prices. So Walmart is a place that once the tariffs are implemented, I know people like shopping at different places. People sometimes don't feel safe going into Walmart, but Walmart may be the place you go to because they have done the necessary things to stabilize their prices as we move forward.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to start learning to grow stuff because I'm not going to Walmart.
You bougie. What's wrong with Walmart?
I've never liked Walmart.
Target's like, no DEI, no DEI. Walmart's like, cricket, cricket, cricket.
No, there's no DI as well.
Oh, they did say it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that
I thought,
that memo.
wait, let me double check. I thought Walmart came out and said that before Target.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that memo.
Let me just check. I might be incorrect. Maybe that's because I don't shop at Walmart, so I'm not checking for them.
Walmart stock. When we talked about, excuse me, hold on. I think I need to start taking my allergy medicine.
Well, this weather is up and down.
Yeah, it's changed things up a little bit. But what was I going to say? Yeah, Walmart stock.
They rolled back their DEI programs. Walmart did.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed that. That was missed by me. But yeah, so yeah, that's it on the tariffs. Unless there's anything you wanted to share.
No. I just think everything that he said and done has just affected everyone. I thought about my friends that work for the federal government, not so much about them having to go into the office, but just if they're going to have a job, that's always terrifying.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So
people don't like the jobs and stuff. I know I'm certain some people's jobs will be affected, but yeah, there's so many angles with the job market right now that's playing out. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I'm gonna say this publicly on here, and maybe you're listening and you feel like I feel, and Lisa Marie, maybe you do, but under no circumstances am I ever gonna bow down to the made in China God created by DeepSeek. There's no way in hell that I'm gonna let a made in China sentient being control my life. I will not bow. I will stand tall. I will resist. I will fight. So, Lisa Marie, are you afraid of the China, made in China God that they're creating? AKA
No, but for our listeners that don't know, first of all, you sound like freaking Fight the Power. I thought you were Public Enemy for 5 seconds. No, I'm not at all. But for those listeners that aren't familiar, you want to do a brief synopsis of what DeepSeek is?
Yeah, DeepSeek is China's version of OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
It's an AI language model, and they've been able to created at a much lower cost. So the stories that are being reported is that China created it for about 5 to 10 million, whereas OpenAI 100 million to create a product.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how it works in terms of supply and
Yep.
demand and competition. So
Yep.
once China did that, it created a scare in the market because it's like, well, if I can get that same thing that OpenAI has for a lesser price, I'm going to do that. And so now that's where the allure comes in for the made in China God, aka DeepSeek.
Dan, I'm a believer of you get what you pay for.
Right?
I mean, that's just me.
Right. I mean, you know, China obviously is innovative. China
Yeah.
is a power, right? And I think, and we don't have to stay on this one long, but I think that China is cheating in this regard. Like a lot of people don't know the amount of human input that's required for these AI models.
Right.
It's called AI tagging, which humans have to do. I can't even fathom the amount of buildings that China has where people go into them daily making $2 an hour and they sit at a computer watching horrific content,
Mm-hmm.
porn, killings, you know, pedophilia, all these different things, and they have to tag it and they have to put it into the AI system.
Yeah.
And I
That
look
seems
at
like
that,
a form of abuse, doesn't it?
slavery, I call it.
Well, yeah, that's a better word.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Like to me, it's a form of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, oh, the training. They said that with the Made in China God, they said the speed in which they're able to train it is much faster than anything else.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, right? But see, OpenAI, instead of using American citizens to do the same type of AI tagging,
Mm-hmm.
they outsource that work to Africa, a
Mm-hmm.
third-party company in Africa, and that third-party company in Africa then pays Africans to do much of the same things that the Chinese would be doing to pump more data into their system.
Right.
And so a lot of people aren't aware of that component of it. And sometimes it kind of reminds me of, like, you know, that the Wizard of Oz movie where, you know, they're looking at the screen and they're seeing the wizard on the screen and they're like, oh my God, this is scary. This is epic. But then they find out that there's like a little man in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's the component of AI where the product is amazing to us, but we truly don't see the inner workings of how humans have to play a major role in its capabilities still.
I think about like the Madden games, right? Like you've seen those being made, correct?
Yeah.
Where they hook all that
great
stuff
point.
up.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's what I think
Right.
about.
That's a great point.
That's very tedious and long days.
Yes. Yeah, great analogy. And so it's like the funny thing about AI is that, yeah, I think it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I find it useful. But
it's dangerous too, though, but go ahead.
Yeah, but the point of it for me is that I think with AI, what they've done better than social media did, because I was in that social media game for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And the game for social media was how to use UX, UI, you know, user experience, user design to create a product that was better than the internet search. But the technology behind it wasn't so incredible. It was just that the beautification of an experience online became better.
Right.
And so AI, to me, is starting to do the product that we use, Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I feel like they sat down with some of the greatest designers in the world, some of the best psychologists, some of the best business minds, and they formulated a product that makes you forget about that human component. So it's like a huge spectacle, but the human component is, in a lot of ways, tedious. People, are overworked, underpaid, and to me, it's like a form of slavery.
Yeah.
So, but I'd rather use ChatGPT. I'm just saying, I get it. I'd rather use ChatGPT. So I'm definitely never going to use a made in China God. Not doing it. Not downloading it on my phone. It'll never be on a computer in my house. Because to me, it's a Trojan horse. But and I think a lot of people are going to recognize over time that DeepSeek is fugazi. It's fugazi. It is not what they're making it out to be. Because we have some of the greatest minds in the world here working on AI. Which actually brings me to a point that I want to really discuss now that I think about it. And I don't know if this is already a term, but I'm going to call it the expert fallacy.
Okay.
And the way that I think about the expert fallacy is it's when the average person who doesn't have a high understanding, even a basic understanding of something, allows a perceived expert to tell them something about that thing they don't know about, and they take it at face value. They believe it. So I want to talk about Vivek the elitist.
Ramaswamy from Doge?
Ex-Doge? Yeah, Ramaswamy. Yeah, ex-Doge, yeah.
Yeah, I think you know more about him than I do.
Yeah, Vivek the elitist, okay. He put his foot in his mouth, and
he was pushing for the HB1 visas, right?
Yeah, so yes, he put his foot in his mouth because he talked greasy. He talked really greasy. Yeah, he talked really greasy to Americans who actually put him in the position he's in. And he, on the backdrop, because, Vivek comes off as a really intelligent guy. And a lot of people really don't know, well, how did this guy even get credibility?
I was about to ask you that.
How did he make his money? How did he do all these different things?
Is he from the United States?
So Vivek is born U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Okay. The way he made his money, and I'm not saying every way in which he made his money, but one of the ways that certainly catapulted him was he and his family purchased pretty much a forgotten drug. Okay. The patents to it.
Okay.
And they found a way to purchase this patented, because his mother was actually, I think his mother worked in the pharma space. I don't remember what capacity. Maybe she's a patent lawyer, or she worked in pharma. I can't remember.
Okay.
But essentially, the family purchased the rights to a patent for a forgotten therapeutic, or I wouldn't say necessarily maybe forgotten, but it certainly wasn't a high wealth generating product.
Okay.
And so they purchased that, they remixed it, they found a way to market it, sell the business. And that's how he made money. Okay. And Vivek, to me, I remember when I first saw him get on the political stage, I was like, man, this is a pretty articulate guy. He's pretty sharp. And I think that resonated with a lot of people. I didn't, agree with him so much on the political agendas that he was putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought to myself, man, this is an example of what people should sound like when they're, when they are educated, when they have spent some time in the so-called tech world, et cetera. So I was like, okay, Vivek is a pretty polished guy, right? I could see him achieving some success in politics. So he got, on the right side, and by that I mean the right, alignment with the right. And when people were demonizing Trump, he stood by Trump and supported him in spite of the possible backlash. And through that, he achieved his opportunity to be a part of the Trump administration in the form of Doge. And so everything was sweet. And for those who don't know, Vivek is Hindi. All right, that's his faith. Okay. And so, here's a guy for all intents and purposes who's Hindi, but he's aligning with in fact check that for me if you don't mind. I believe he is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think I remember him saying that, but I know he's not Christian from what I remember. But here's a guy who's trying to align with Christians, and they're like, the Christians are like, yeah, we like Vivek, he supports Trump, and so like they're grafting him in, right? And then he gets in Doge, and he just starts talking crazy. And because he is?
Yeah.
Okay. And so because of his status and his accomplishments and the expert fallacy, people were all on board with him up until that point. And then this was the time when you could see through that veil, and you could his elitism could be pinpointed to, oh, he's just trying to look out for a group of people who probably just look like him.
Okay.
Okay. And so the reason I'm really bringing this up is because there's an individual by the name of Eric Weinstein. To me, Eric Weinstein is one of the most intelligent people on the planet.
Okay.
And he points out, and anybody who's listening, just look into Eric Weinstein. He points out that he wants to debate Vivek because Vivek is painting a picture that India possesses all these intelligent engineers, mathematicians, etc., right?
I mean, that's their belief. I mean, from my understanding.
But Eric Weinstein points out that it's a flawed belief. And in fact, places like France are outperforming the world in math and engineering.
Okay.
But we don't hear this.
Right.
And so he has a chart of the countries that are outperforming. And France, and I can't remember what the second country was behind France. But he essentially was like, let's debate, because Vivek, when you're talking about the H-1Bs and who should come here, and you're talking about countries like India and all these, these other places, he never mentioned France.
He never mentioned France?
Vivek never mentioned France.
He doesn't think France cuts the mustard?
That's the expert fallacy. He doesn't know.
Okay.
He doesn't know that it does. He doesn't know because he's not an astrophysicist. He's not a PhD level mathematician. It's like if you want to know about math and where the talent, like, okay, if you want to know where the talented basketball players are, who would you go and ask in the NBA? Hypothetically.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the coaches? I don't know.
Right. Would you go to,
or the owner, coaches, the scouts? Those
right, something in that realm, right?
Yeah.
Right? So maybe actually the basketball players.
Oh well, yeah. Sometimes y'all can handle each other. Yeah.
But Vivek is talking about things that it may be perceived that he is even good at because of his, perceived,
Narcissism.
origin, ethnicity, right? The perception when you see him, like, oh, this guy, he's Indian. He's probably, really good at this, right?
Right.
But he doesn't know like a PhD level mathematician would. So it's like the elitism definitely shows, and I think because of that, that's why he was kicked out of the club. Now he
He
can play
said
all
that.
these games. Who? Vivek?
Yeah, he made comments in front of people.
Yeah, he did. He said essentially left on he left under the guise that he's always wanted to run for the governor of Ohio, and the way that the laws work is you cannot be in a government position and hold an office. So he walked away from Doge.
Okay. Yeah. Just think about the caliber of businessman you're saying that he is, it makes me wonder what kind of rooms has he been in or who has he surrounded himself with that he didn't realize making that kind of comment was not going to work out well for his career in the Trump administration.
Right, right. And because you have people like Steve Bannon who
Mm-hmm.
represent a particular base in the Trump world,
Mm-hmm.
who, when Vivek said what he said and Elon Musk supported it, they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, yeah, Elon, you might have spent some money, so you're invited to the table, but you got to sit at the back of the church. You're a
He
new
ain't back
you're a new
anymore.
convert. You're a new convert.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vivek got kicked out because he couldn't. You can't live that down. He like it's one thing to think it, and so you do like little things to enact it, and so people have to wonder like, okay,
Right.
is he an elitist? Is he a
But when it's
supremacist?
right in your face,
Yeah, he put it right in your face. Yeah, he
yeah,
started like I don't know if he was drinking when he did it. Like something was going on. He started feeling himself, man.
oh,
Like
wow.
maybe just do you think it might have been like,
Maybe he got caught up in where he was and who he was around.
yeah, yeah, because he said he was on vacation with his family, but maybe it was like the fact that they won and he was just feeling like, yeah, if he finally hit him, like we won. So now he's like, yeah, and you know what? Yeah, fuck Americans. It's like, come on, man. So,
What happened?
yeah, he was on the what is that podcast called with Andrew Schultz? Um,
Oh, I'm not an Andrew Schultz fan.
I
The one
forget what it's called.
Charlemagne or his own?
His own.
Oh, yeah, I
But
don't
he
know.
was on that podcast, and I just felt like, they were joking about it, and then it was the first time I saw Vivek in a room
Mm-hmm.
where it was like he was being disrespected at every turn.
Oh, wow. How'd he take that?
He actually handled it. I want to kind of give a percentage. I think he handled it like 90% effectively, but that 10%, you could see those insecurities come out every now and then.
Mm.
But it did show me that that's why he was able to get as far as he has politically,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
he's actually really good at playing the game.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah,
Yeah, that kind
that's
of
it.
backfired.
That's it, buddy. And he's not going to, like, in what world does he become governor of Ohio? Like, I can't even imagine.
Again, these are unprecedented times. Unprecedented times. I mean, we are giving someone basically the keys to the castle. Like some of the people that have been given as much power as they have, and they are not as well versed or have, many years of government or political experience. behind them and they're at the helm of the country is a little nerve-wracking
Yeah.
because you can't just come in and say, I'm going to do this and it just gets done. Like, there are still rules and policies that you have to follow. It may have to go to a vote. It may have to go to signatures. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. So you just have to wait and see what happens. You have to wait and see.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So I want to shift it to this, which is I had this thought, which we talked about a little bit, which is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And we do live in a country with a group of people known as the intelligence community. And when it hits you that it's called the intelligence community,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize that the people in this community are actually likely the most intelligent people in out of all the communities.
Mm-hmm.
It would only lead one to believe that the intelligence community would certainly control the artificial intelligence community. Wink, wink. So I'll leave that there with that. We'll talk about that another time. But I do want to, I kind of want to lighten it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and I was hoping Mel would be on this for this too. So I saw that Luka Doncic.
The trade.
Traded. Yeah, the trade. What do you think about it?
So I didn't really follow him, but apparently he is a legend. And from my understanding, he is being traded to the Lakers. Is it another or two other players in exchange for Anthony Davis, who I guess is supposed to be, old for the league. Am I getting that correct? Because some of the comments that I'm seeing, I'm just like, what is going on? People are very upset, outraged, as a combination of things. So I'm not super familiar with Luka.
No, I love it. I love a lot of what you said. You said, first of all, you said he's a legend, and Luka's pretty young, right?
Right.
The reason I love it is because he's certainly, given what he's done, he's certainly going to be considered one of the greatest of all time.
Okay.
He hasn't won a championship, but off of pure talent, he's one of those guys, like, that you'll know, like, as you move forward, like, man, he changed the game, or what he was able to do at such a young age is just amazing. But yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs about who they're trading and whatnot, but what kind of pissed me off about it was, like, Anthony Davis, to me, after LeBron and him won that championship in the bubble, Anthony Davis, to me, has been an eyesore of a player.
In what way?
He's always getting hurt. Like,
he's that guy. Okay, I know that
guy.
with football. He's that guy. Okay.
He's that guy, and it's like, it's when you need him the most.
Right. That's always the case.
And he's just not showing up. And it's like LeBron's getting older, and it's like every time there's that opportunity to get over the hump, Anthony Davis, all my back, all my foot, all my knee, and to be honest,
trade?
Say it again.
What was the purpose of the trade?
No, good point. So let me say this. See, Luka, in some ways, is similar with that injury profile, but he's the star of a team. And the thing with him is, like, he needs to lose weight. Like, when you watch him play, you're like, man, this guy, like, this shit ain't gonna last. Like, you need to lose some weight.
So it's interesting that you make that point, because I saw a clip of him online hugging another player.
Yeah.
And he has a beer can in his hand, and he's drinking from the beer can. And
come on.
And I'll see if I can find it since you are on this call. And one of the managers or coaches walks up to him and takes it out of his hand while he's talking to the other player.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'm glad. See, look, I haven't watched the NBA in years, because the game is just difficult for me to to watch because I
Mm-hmm.
don't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
But because a part of it too is like I look at the NBA as almost like the WWE at this point in my life. Yeah, it's like it's kind of
The
funny
way
like when I think
LeBron's throwing himself around, yeah, I get it.
right, and I want to get on him for sure. So I'm glad you brought his name up, right? but so with Luka, that
Mm-hmm.
injury profile and like you said, him drinking a beer and it's like you know these things about these guys. Like if their nutrition isn't right, their body just won't stand up over time. Especially playing as many games as they play, and they'd rather party than focus on, the actual game that gets you to the next round in the playoffs and then the
Mm-hmm.
championship. Okay, they have to be very disciplined. But what I'm really upset about is the fact that there's an article that came out and it said that LeBron James was fed up with Anthony Davis, and LeBron James was like fake news. It's like LeBron, you clearly like how could you not be? And to me, LeBron is the GOAT. But it's like LeBron, how could you not be disappointed and upset with Anthony Davis and want him to get the hell away from you, given all that he has not accomplished in tandem with you? Like, why would he try to play this game like people can't feel it and see that he's frustrated with this guy? I'm like, what is that? Like, what kind of psychology is that LeBron has that he'll do that? I don't understand it.
Well, I'm not a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call him the GOAT. I know that's up for debate. Um, but I mean, I guess regarding his mindset, though, this is the same dude that thought it was good to bring his kid on his team. I mean, so the decision making there, I mean, speaks volumes. Okay, can we start there?
I'm a father. I want my son to play on my team.
I mean, but first of all, is your son nice like that? No,
Everybody
stop.
nepotism.
He's not. He's not nice like that, right? Would it benefit
No.
him to maybe stay in school and get his game up? 1000%. Because playing the way that he's playing now, you're going to tarnish your reputation or you're going to get hurt. But hey, my dad's LeBron, so there you go. I don't see how old is Carmelo's oldest?
Oh dang, I don't know.
I don't think he's in playing with his daddy or played with his daddy.
Yeah, because definitely. So Carmelo, what did he retire a year or two ago?
Yeah, a
3
year or
years
two
ago.
ago. Yeah.
But to your point, like I mean, LeBron James definitely got his way, and like somebody help me understand like how is it that why would he? Okay, Kobe Bryant,
I love my Kobe.
Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying LeBron has to be like that, but why did he even have to comment and act as if
Go ahead.
and act as if he had to like defend Anthony Davis, bro? He's leaving the team, bro.
Because for LeBron and his narcissism, I don't even think it was about that. I think it was, so there's a quotable moment from LeBron when it goes down in history. That's personally what I think it is. That's how much of a narcissist I think he is. He inserted himself into that and added really
And
no value to it.
this is what's funny.
I
This
just
is
texted you
really
Michael Finley
okay.
is who took the beer out of his hand.
Michael Finley is one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah, that's I sent you
I see it, yeah. So like my thing too is it's kind of funny how this works out. And if LeBron James and I think even Luka, I'm gonna tell you why I think this trade happened. This is breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The jealousy that I think LeBron has and Luka
Mm-hmm.
have for Kyrie Irving, I think is next level.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
See, Luka played with Kyrie,
Right.
and they were right there.
Mm-hmm. I love me some Kyrie.
They just got Clay, and they,
Thompson,
few,
tall white guy.
Klay Thompson,
Okay.
Klay Thompson from Golden State. They just got
Mhm.
Clay,
Mhm.
and just a few pieces here and there, and you have a championship possibility. But I think Kyrie, with his talent,
Mhm.
and actually, I think it was a couple of days ago, I saw the movie coming out, Uncle Drew.
Okay.
The allure that people have for Kyrie
Right.
is phenomenal. It's like these guys know that the eyeballs prefer watching Kyrie and his magic versus where LeBron is now in his career. Not the old LeBron, but now.
Mhm.
And Luka, I think Luka is jealous of Kyrie as well. And so I bet you they got on the phone and were like, hey man, how you feel about Kyrie, man? Yeah, man, I know Kyrie's good and all that, but I'm tired of people talking about him all the time, man. Like, this is my team. Everybody's
Well, they
want to
probably thought
practice,
that controversy was going to take him out, and it didn't.
and it didn't, right?
Mhm.
And it didn't.
It didn't,
He's
and
obviously
it didn't affect his game either.
no, and he's obviously a blessed individual, right?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
anybody could tell that about him. And so
Mhm.
it's like, Luka's like, man, this is my team. But every time we go to practice, people are like, yeah, Kyrie dance, Kyrie, show me that move, man, Kyrie. And I think that ate him up. So he's like, I'm gonna go over here with a aged LeBron. This will be my team, right? And I'm a part of the greatest organization. It's arguable between LA and Boston. The
And then
greatest organization.
and
Say it again?
LeBron's going to hurt himself trying to make sure Luka isn't at the helm.
Fits in. There you go.
Like,
Oh, you said not at the helm?
No, he doesn't want Luka to be the focus. His narcissism will not allow Luka to be the focus on the Lakers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I could
It's
see
got to
that.
be. He's got to have the same admiration Kyrie had. And
So
I don't know much about Luka, like I said earlier, but I feel like Kyrie also is a lot more genuine and a lot more humble than LeBron, and so I get why they probably are jealous of him because he doesn't have to do all that fanfare to get that allure, and they
yeah,
feel
he doesn't feel like he tries at all.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he didn't try. Yeah, it just seems natural. And
Mm-hmm.
he worked really, really hard
Oh yeah.
to get to this point. But yeah, LeBron and Luka, I think they're pairing on that jealousy for Kyrie, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
sending. That's how I know, like it's a vitriol because they're sending Anthony Davis to join him.
Yeah, that was
And the hate, you like, and on top of that, the hate people used to have for Klay Thompson.
mm-hmm.
So Luka's on a team with two people, like one of the greatest shooters of all time and one of the greatest, ball handlers of all time, magicians of all time. He's like, man, you know what? I'm out of this bitch.
And Kyrie, he's gonna just die having to hear Kyrie be the name of that team.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill him on the inside.
And I heard they said, I don't know if this is true, but it was like this talk going around that Mark Cuban was like, essentially he would rather leave his wife than leave Luka.
What?
Yeah, something weird like that. And so when Mark Cuban sold his team
Okay, there you go.
Mark Cuban sold his team
Mm-hmm.
to Trump's largest donor for that casino business. Allegedly, I don't even have to say allegedly. Supposedly, he kept a portion of ownership.
Really? Okay.
And so they're saying Luka was upset by his involvement still. And if you could fact check that, I don't know if that's true about the still having a piece of the ownership.
All right, let's check.
Couldn't get in trouble for anything like that, but yeah, supposedly Luka was like, he didn't like Mark Cuban's involvement. But like I said, I don't think it had anything to do with that I just think that the jealousy for Kyrie is next level.
He definitely came out 6 hours ago and said that he was not involved in the trade. Mark Cuban felt like he had to put a statement out, but he
Okay.
still owns 27.7%.
Okay. So he's not majority anymore. Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
So he still owns a piece of it, but I'm sure he didn't want Luka to go. Um, but he can't act like he didn't know what was going to happen. That's
Right.
a cap.
So
That's a
Luka might
cap.
still be trade, probably.
He might. He might, but supposedly Mark Cuban is a part of the reason he wanted to leave. So then that's why Mark Cuban would say, "Oh, I
Ah.
didn't know."
Well, he definitely came out 6 hours ago, according to Yahoo
Yeah.
Sports, and made a comment or made a statement that he had no involvement regarding the trade. Actually, it's across a couple of different ones.
Yeah, the NBA, man, I can't do it. I can't
It's
do
just
it.
interesting that this one is such a highly publicized one because I've heard about other devastating trades that happen within the NBA, but this is the one
Yeah.
that I've seen that's been the most. Because I think somebody actually used the wording, "This is the most upsetting trade in history," and I'm like, really, in the history of the NBA? But I don't follow the
Yeah.
NBA like I do NFL.
It's one of them because Luka at his age
Mm-hmm.
and the potential he has,
Mm-hmm.
it continues to surmount, that Laker legacy where they could have another 5 to 10 years of opportunities to win championships.
But do you think he's going to give it his all?
I don't know. I mean, when you get to that Lakers organization, the star power in the city, it's big dog time. Like he's gonna be walking down those hallways and he's gonna see Magic and Kareem and Kobe and
Yeah,
LeBron on
but
the
then you're going to have the
wall.
egos on your team too, though.
Yeah, but this might be the time where they're gonna pull some of that power from LeBron because now they do have the next guy. Yeah, so LeBron is part of bringing him there, I'm sure, because of the whole, like I said, Kyrie thing.
Yeah.
Completely made all that up, but it sounded good to me. But LeBron is going to lose power because of this because Luka is younger.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's that guy for real. Like he can ball for real.
And he's better than Bronny, so
Yeah, he's way better.
he's way better than Bronny.
Shoot, I could do what Bronny's doing right now. See, Joe Biden could do what Bronny's doing right now.
There was some other well, I was gonna say there was some other interesting NBA news, but I'm not gonna bring that up.
What?
I'll just, you probably have heard it, but Matt Barnes.
No, what?
Oh wow. Okay.
It
Alleged.
just happened?
Yeah, this weekend.
Oh, what
Alleged.
happened?
So I don't know if people know he is engaged to. I cannot pronounce her name. Anasis. I can't. She's the daughter of Beverly Johnson, the popular model, black model from back in the day. She played the teacher on the Martin episode, Miss Trinidad. But that's her
All right,
mother.
he beat
Anyway,
somebody up. He beat somebody up.
no.
Okay.
His fiance posted on her Instagram story. Um, I once loved a man who broke my heart, and she listed 8 women and their social media handles, and when they hooked up with her fiance. So there were 8 women in the month of January, and she just had a baby, by the way.
So Matt Barnes is doing his thing.
Eight
Dang.
women, 8 women in January, and you're married with a brand new child. What you got going on, player?
Dang.
I mean, there's only 31 days. When were you home?
Like them ladies want that good hair. Them ladies want that good hair, man.
8 though. I mean, 8.
8,
I mean,
8.
1, 2 is bad enough, but 8 is just a little excessive. And what was really interesting, the comment that was really interesting that kind of I found interesting is that somebody said it's not because Matt Barnes has money, because everybody knows who Matt Barnes is. She said it's, and I know you'll disagree, so we can talk about it if you want. All men do it because even broke men will still get out here and try to have multiple women.
That's what she said. That's it.
That's what she. I mean, yeah.
I was waiting. Look, I was waiting for something groundbreaking.
No, come on. Come on. You know how those comments are. They are not groundbreaking.
So, even broke men do it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, they want that good. They want the baby to have. They don't got to put relaxers in the thing and juices and chemicals in the baby's hair to have relaxed hair. That's why.
All I'm saying is the
And the light skin. The
deterioration.
baby's got the light. They want the light skin baby.
The deterioration of the family unit is just very it's sad. I don't like it.
But look who you talking about. In fact, as a matter of fact, since you brought that up, and we're talking about the LA area, I saw a video of Kanye West and his wife at the Grammys.
Oh, did you see what she had on?
Bro, she looked like a Band-Aid.
Yeah. But that's not. That's normal for her. Have you not seen them when they've been out in public?
Yo, man, I was like, this is definitely pornographic.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm like, doesn't he know the kids are watching?
He doesn't care.
He a wild boy.
But what's so funny is, since we're talking about him, he has his wife out like that, and he's okay with it. But I remember him getting pissed off at Kim Kardashian because A, their daughter was on social media, and B, she was wearing a filter. And he was very upset about the filter.
Well, I will say,
mm-hmm.
There's a difference between how you want your children to be protected versus how I can imagine he's thinking about how he wants his relationship to be maintained with his second wife.
But my thing is if your daughter comes to you and say, hey, daddy, you let your wife, stepmom, whatever, or dental floss out, but my mini skirt was just a little bit too short. Why is that different? Because we're both females. So why is it different, daddy? Don't you want her to be respected the same way you want me to be respected? Like, you got to explain that to your children.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's different though. You can have different standards for different people, you said floss, but what is that they were wearing?
Listen, I just saw some see-through mesh, right, from the back. She came out in a black fur, and she dropped that, and I saw the mesh, so she wasn't wearing underwear, and then she turned around and her boobs were out, and I'm like, well, yeah, I don't. By the way, shout out to Kendrick Lamar, rap song of the year. But yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. I don't. But
are they hosting it?
No, they're not. This is what I will say. I think she moves and acts and dresses under the guise of Kanye. And anybody that's ever lost anybody close to them, I have always said, because I feel like it, because I remember when he first came out and he was a little on the edge, but I also know how highly he spoke of his mother and his grandmother. And his mother died so unexpectedly. She was getting cosmetic surgery. I truly believe the death of his mother and his grandmother pushed him to a different mental state. I really do truly believe that. I think he stopped caring about everything when he lost them. That's how he moved.
Oh, but look, it all makes sense to me now. Like, maybe he wasn't wearing all those clothes because it's in Los Angeles and the fires are still going on, right?
Because she's always not.
It's too hot.
No.
It's too hot.
I think he uses her as a point of attention. I think he, just like when he was like, he was wearing the MAGA hat, what, in 2018, 2020? When did he endorse Trump? Not this time, but the first time.
2016.
Yeah. Like, he just says outlandish things. Okay. Just like Orlando Brown. I don't think Orlando Brown is crazy. I really don't. But his behavior brings him attention and people continue to talk about him. And he has a
Oh,
child. He has a child on the way, by the way.
Kanye said, now he's married, right? He said on X, he said that he wanted to have uh, sex with Kamala until she lost.
Say, yeah. Here's the thing. I think some of the stuff that he says is so insane that he is sane and he's making it up.
He's rich. He's a rich man.
I just don't think he. I mean,
The
because
thing is,
how many
go ahead.
years later was it that his mother passed away, and that man put her heartbeat on a track? Like, I think he's still grieving that. I think he's grieving that, and then he had to break up with Kim, and so I mean, we might go into another conversation with this. I remember when they were married, he was upset with her with the things that she wore and the things that she modeled in. And she did all that before y'all got married. So why would she complain about it after you married her that way? Like, I've never understood
Fashion. It's fashion. You don't understand it because you have a small fashion mind where you can't see the beauty in less.
that.
Less
No,
is more. More is godly.
I am more old school, and that I will say that I feel like you should leave a lot to the imagination, because you can literally look at a TV commercial, a television show, go on social media, or go to the mall on Saturday. And I guarantee you, if it's 85 degrees out, regardless of the age, somebody's cheeks are going to be out. And I didn't ask for that. I remember there being a time where if I wanted to see some cheeks, I had to go look for it. I ain't got to look for it now. It's out there in full display. And then
People,
when guys get with it, you guys get with it because that's what she looks like. But then they want to change that, even though that's not how you married her. So it's very
see, but
confusing.
you're not giving us proper context in that.
What do you mean?
The material that she was wearing was
Okay, I'll give you a specific.
fine mesh that it was at least it's thousands of dollars for something like that.
That's your assumption, but is it, Tracy?
I don't know. She didn't look like she was wearing anything to me, so that looked free.
I mean, that might have been like hanging over a chair or something, and they threw that on. I was like, "Ooh, that looks good. You can work that." Like, come on, Tracy.
What was that?
It was like I've seen mesh dresses before, but I think that is intended to have something underneath it. She had nothing underneath it. Hang on. I think she did have a thong on because you saw her butt cheeks, but when she turned around, you couldn't see the hot pocket. What is her name? She's a model, and she never talks. So weird.
You said the hot pocket.
Yeah, you couldn't see the hot pocket. Let me see. It's a fur. I'm looking at it again. Oh, he's lost some weight. He looks good. I wasn't really looking at him. I was looking some more at her because I already knew what it was about to be.
LAC, people call it Sodom and Gomorrah for a reason.
Okay, so when you go back and look at it again, this is him garnering attention. They clearly walk on the red carpet. He leans over and says something to her. She says okay, and then she turns around and gets into character.
Action.
Yeah, it's and I mean, from a married man perspective, right? If you had that kind of money, would it be okay for you to be out with your wife? Is it okay if she wears that out?
Oh, I would never be out if I had that kind of money.
That's not
But I
what
get
I
what you're
asked.
saying.
Yeah.
No, of course not. And no, but honestly, I would never be. I wouldn't be in no Grammys. I wouldn't be. You
Oh,
wouldn't catch
yeah.
me. I'd order everything to come to the house.
Well, the point of going to those things is to be seen, right?
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
people wear the outlandish stuff.
yeah. I wouldn't care to be seen. I think you know they're not the amount of people who when they go to these award shows who dress
Hmm.
you know pretty much they're nude. It's like I don't. I see. Dang, I've seen a lot of crazy ones. I don't see that might have been the wildest one.
I'm trying to think.
I would, the crazy thing is, I wasn't even looking for it. It's just like it found a way to find me.
Listen, as soon as you hear somebody say, and Kanye's walking up the red carpet, you should already know what to expect. If
Ah, the
he's been
devil.
anything, he's been consistent in his irrational behavior. And the Grammys were in LA, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's why I said maybe it's because
So,
the fires are still going on. It's still hot.
well, so here's the thing. They have 100% contained the fire, allegedly, but I need to look this up because where are they holding the Grammys in LA where it's,
Crypto, crypto.com arena where the Lakers play.
so none of that area, I guess, was touched then.
I thought around there kind of was,
I did
but
too. That's why I'm confused. But
the show must go on.
yeah, it was really interesting how certain little pockets of areas were completely demolished and some not.
To me, so let's be honest, right? To me, it's like, hey man, there's a lot of devastation that took here, and then we're gonna let the weirdos come through. The vampires, the ghouls, the
Yeah.
werewolves, the zombies, the
This
fast
shows
food processed meat eating zombies.
this shows you where our society is. Some of these people lost everything in a fire, and then what is it? They arrested a dozen people for looting. So who sits around and thinks, you know what? They've lost everything, but we can probably find something in the rubble. And they went and looted through people's homes. Insane.
But but to that point, like I'm saying, who thinks to themselves, these people right here lost everything. Let me go out here and show my hoo ha, my hot pot.
Well, so the need for attention, I sometimes feel like is stronger than being hooked on a narcotic or an opiate. The need for attention and the need to be seen is a drug. And some people literally have to have it to survive. And so if that means I need to go out here and wear something outlandish or say something outlandish that's going to get me attention, whether good or bad, the attention is still going to be on me.
I must be seen.
Hmm.
Oh, I must be seen. It's an
It's
addiction.
crazy. It's crazy. It is. It is an addiction.
It's worse than fentanyl.
I mean, I feel like it is.
Yeah, the need to be seen is worse than fentanyl. It'll make a person do fentanyl in public on a
No,
camera.
no, but the need for attention will cause you to do horrible things. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought that they were going to actually because I remember when the fires were going on, they were in talks about whether the Olympics should still take place, whether the Grammys should still take place, and the weirdos found a way.
yeah, that whole thing is just strange to me. How the
There are
Grammys were
people,
able.
there are people literally there homeless, and you got the weirdos, the vampires, and the ghouls showing up like here to party,
And I wonder if
here now.
any of them were displaced. I mean, they were already displaced. They were on the streets, but
Some of them, but Kanye got a what 100 acres in Wyoming. These people have multiple homes. Some of them.
yep, multiple homes. And then that was the
So
part where they were asking for donations. You know, I'm like, what was it, Jewel? She came on her social media and was crying and begging about donations and people in LA really needing help. And the amount of people in her comments that were saying in all caps, "What about Western North Carolina, Jewel?" I mean, because they were truly devastated as well. So, pick and choose.
The Grammys. We're rich and we show wherever we want naked.
Speaking of which, did your boy LeBron go to the Grammys?
I don't know. LeBron's just the NBA season. I don't think he got time to be going to no Grammys.
Listen, he got time to go to Ain't No Party Like Diddy parties. He might have been able to fly to Grammy and visit in, but
Hey, LeBron ain't gonna let Samantha go to the Grammys looking like that.
Savannah.
What did I say, Samantha?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is Samantha?
The side. But anyway, listen. You pulling for the Super Bowl? Who you pulling for in the Super Bowl?
I don't watch. I don't care.
Well, the only reason I find it
either.
interesting
Who's
is that
in it?
it's Black History Month. It is Black
Mm-hmm.
History Month, and we have two Black quarterbacks going head to head.
Oh my God! Isn't that amazing? Shimmy
the shoulders. Shimmy the shoulders.
Oh my God! Black people throwing a football. Oh my God! Black History Month. Who cares?
Well, in the NFL, Black quarterback, like, I think we have more now than ever. Like, that's a pivotal spot on a football team.
More two brain damaged quarterbacks.
Oh, you talking about CTE?
Yeah, come on.
Well, you're not supposed to get hit.
It's like, which one of them? It's like two of their plans. Like, which one of them is going to be the next serial killer? Go.
Oh my God. So let me ask you a question. How long was Cam a quarterback? We know.
Shoot, I don't know.
You think he doesn't? You think he suffers from? I felt like when he had.
Look at how he dresses. He's definitely got CTE. He dresses like a wizard. He literally thinks he's Gandalf.
No, he has been doing that since he went into the NFL. Because I will never forget. I used to be so pissed at him. He was very clean cut, and I remember seeing his first loss, and he was doing the press conference, and it was like spring. It was warm outside. He had on a cream color cable knit turtleneck, and his hair was short and all. And I'm like, is he trying to be a model or an NFL player? But he got up there and he was all sad and upset that they lost. And I remember thinking to myself, he's too soft to be an NFL player.
Man, you don't get these dudes don't get CTE in the NFL. They have it before they get there.
Oh, from playing from what, Pee Wee and high school?
You've been playing since you were 7, 8.
Well, you know what's interesting? I hear about it more, and maybe it's because that's what's in my feed and I'm more interested in. I hear about it more in football, but not so much as boxing, which is interesting because I feel like you get more consistent blows to the head and the face in boxing.
Yeah, people die in boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, people die. Football, both of them, you're getting concussed. Look at any of these boxers in their early days. Listen to them and how they communicated in interviews when they were younger to how they talk when they get advanced in their careers and after. They sound mealy mouth. They're damaged.
Okay, I hate to divert, but now that you mentioned that, did you by any chance catch any of the questioning of RFK Jr. this weekend?
Oh yeah, I did.
Why does he talk?
First of all, you call him RFK. I call him Pediatrician Kennedy.
Why does he talk like that? Is that normal for him? Because that's
yeah. So a lot of people have that, or a lot of people have had that disorder, and it's been fixed. He has an issue with his vocal cords.
So the stuttering and all that was.
Yeah. So like some people who have that condition, they learn not to speak from their throat. let me see how to say it. They don't speak from the way I've heard it explained. Somebody had the condition and they learn how to speak from like another place in their throat, like the back of it or something. Oh no, I'm wrong. You typically speak with your throat, but they learn how to speak with their nose, through their nose.
And this is the dude that's going to be in charge of making sure Americans stay
First of all, I
healthy.
won't take any slander on pediatrician Kennedy.
Okay.
Don't do it. He is
Oh,
for the kids.
really? So, how do you feel about his assessment? Well, he claims it's from a study regarding vaccines in African Americans versus other races.
What about the study?
Well, according to the study that he read, we respond differently, and so we wouldn't need the same type of, I think it was COVID, I think the same type of COVID injection as the rest of people that are non-Black.
So what the hell? Do you have a superpower or not? Like, what's the big deal? Don't we know that we have superpowers because of our melanin?
Well, I do believe that we have superpowers, but I also feel like, so let me just tell you what I feel about this administration. When I hear, and you and I both know what DEI is, right? When
hold on. I want you to finish, but please do not slander pediatrician Kennedy.
I hear him say Black people are problematic. That's what I hear. That's not what he's saying. And when I hear regular everyday people say DEI, they mean Black. I feel like it's another way of them saying the N word. That's how I feel.
Not anymore, no.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they mean. Like, I don't like, for example, Greg Abbott. Why would Greg Abbott get rid of DEI initiatives in his agencies? He's DEI. He's a DEI candidate. That's insane to me.
Hold on. No, I got to go back. First of all, you're not going to just skip over pediatrician Kennedy like that. Secondly,
I don't think he's going to be.
Hold on. Secondly, you are the person that you speak against the food. Excuse me. You speak against the poisoning of Americans through the food and environment and the water, etc. Pediatrician Kennedy is all about that, about stopping that.
Okay, I hear you. What experience what do you call him, pediatrician, whatever? What experience, Kennedy, does he have regarding those specific topics that he can bring into this role?
He said,
and therein lies the problem.
No, he's a great communicator.
Okay.
With a delay.
And that's all you need is great communication skills. Well, hell, I should have applied for the job then.
You should have. You should actually be a part of the administration. You should run the HUD.
Why should I run the HUD?
Because that's where Ben Carter was.
So you're gonna replace another Black person with another? I got you. You know how to work that.
DEI.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, tell me, first of all, for those who don't know, when you talk offline, you talk about a lot of different things. And I feel like I came with a clever nickname for Elon Musk, which is DE Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Like he's clearly the DE Iron Man. And his privileges are in part, based off of where he came from. But anyway, listen, let me get back to it. Pediatrician Kennedy was, during that hearing, he was being grilled by Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders started, bringing up baby merch, and Bernie Sanders was like, look at those little things, those little onesies. You're selling those, and now you're saying you're pro vax. Tell them to take those little things down off the website. And Kennedy's like, I don't control anything on that company.
Well, that's it, the entire interrogation or questioning or whatever you want to call it. He never had a firm answer on anything. It was, I don't know, or he wouldn't directly answer it. That's also problematic.
You're discriminating.
Listen,
You're discriminating against.
listen,
You're discriminating against.
people don't like Trump, right? But
No.
Trump does one or two. But Trump does one or two things. He tells the truth and he doesn't care if your feelings are hurt, or he lies and he doesn't care if your feelings are hurt. But I don't ever remember Trump sidestepping an issue. Like case in point, I watched today. I don't remember the reporter's name. I think I sent it to you guys. The guy said, "Do you feel bad about lying to the American public?" And Donald Trump said, "What was that again?" And he repeated the question. And Donald Trump moved his hand over. It's like, okay, yeah, next question. He just ignored him.
Good.
He doesn't care. So it's
Good.
like,
We need to
be
do that.
honest. I wish more people were just honest, because nothing irks me more than when these politicians are asked a yes or no question, and we've got to get this whole synopsis before you get around to the answer, and then the answer is not even it's a gray area, and it's like, well, you didn't answer the question.
Do you think it was fair that during Kennedy's hearing that time that they typically do?
Okay, part of you broke up. You broke up. I heard. Did I think it was fair?
Do you think it was fair that during pediatrician Kennedy's hearing that the people who wanted to question him got the same amount of time allotted that they normally do?
Got the same amount of time that they normally do?
Yeah, so like, they get 5 minutes.
So during the questioning, is it typically a different time slot than what they got?
No, so when you're Senator Bernie Sanders, you get a specific amount of time to address pediatrician Kennedy. And given how pediatrician Kennedy speaks, instead of the 5 minutes, if it's 5 minutes, don't you think it should have been a slightly longer because of the delay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if this man is having trouble articulating because of a disease or issue, a health concern, then you have to allow time for him to complete his thought, because then you're not moving in the fashion of DEI, but whatever.
The guy had a brain worm.
I heard that. I did hear that.
So he said, I had a brain worm. So because
you sound like
of
the
that,
guy from Men in Black.
Yeah, that's how he sounds. Yeah, sugar water.
Exactly who you sound like.
Oh my God. Oh, you're discriminating.
It's not discrimination. Greg Abbott in a wheelchair saying no DEI is discrimination against himself, but whatever.
Oh my God.
But that's why I feel like they're saying people that are basically anyone non-white, they don't want to look at as an equal. Now, again, I don't care about DEI. I would like to think, and I'm going to work I'll be in my rose-colored glasses if I have to. I've always gotten my jobs off of merit and skill. So I'm just going to continue with those rose-colored glasses. And, some chick walks up to me that works in corporate, and she's like, "Oh, are you a DEI hire?" I'm going to ask her the same thing because she's a woman. So,
are you a DEI hire?
Right. Like,
yeah. Well, people had a misconception about it's just amazing because, again, like we talked about in the last no one was even using that term until all of a sudden,
yeah.
But the reality is everyone understands that, people do have prejudices and discriminate against people, but you have to find a way to navigate it just in your day-to-day. But you support, the local legislators, and you support them, and you support the state legislators you want to see that create initiatives that support the things that you want to see, you know. Because like I think an effective way to combat, I just don't know if it's legal to
Uh,
combat
uh,
a lot of this, a lot of these talking points is for someone to compile, like go on the website of every company in America and compile their company images, the company photo,
mm-hmm.
and just have it on a reel and see what those photos look like. And then people tell me what the problem is. And
Interesting.
so people can talk all they want, but the reality is, um, you know, people take care of their own.
Well, yeah.
But you have some good people though who wanna, you know,
It's not
good people
DEI,
actors.
but to your point, LeBron looked out for his kid. People take care. It's a human nature thing.
Yeah, nepotism, yeah.
But I think in the workforce, um, I think Mel might have alluded to it. People like to work with who they know or who they like. So.
Yeah. Or who they wanna sleep with, yeah. Right, that happens a lot.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know
that
it.
happens. Yeah, it happens a lot. Hmm.
Yeah, people like you're so unqualified. You know, they're like, oh, yeah, I think your enthusiasm is incredible. Oh my gosh, you just, yeah, right. I
That
mean,
happened
people,
where
people,
that
go
happened
ahead.
where I used to work. Um, and the person that it happened to is now a director where I currently work. We used to work in the same place together. You are familiar with the place. But long story short, they went out for a role that they should have gotten because they were already familiar with what the role entailed. Um, and it was given to a very busty bimbo that literally just walked around and bounced. She walked around and bounced around the office. Um, and it went to her instead. And the funny thing is that she lasted 6 months and then she quit because she realized, yeah, I'm busty, but I have to actually work and generate revenue in this role. Um,
Busty.
yeah, and the other girl left and is now a director. So that
It's
happens
never
all the
gonna stop. Yeah, it's
time.
never gonna stop.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I
Yeah,
mean, this stuff ain't going nowhere.
so do you have any thoughts on what's been going on um, with the airports? Because I've been seeing a lot of people taking video and about the airports. But here's the thing that's interesting. I've been watching, and a lot of some of the stuff that I see is fake. It's AI, it's fake, it's old because it's not time stamped. And I think it's put out there to create fear. Um, that's the downfall of social media. But I did see a couple of stories where people should have been on that plane that collided with the Black Hawk, and for whatever reason, there was one girl that was late, and the guy something about it was something with his boarding pass. They had to kick him to the next flight, and so they were obviously shook to the core, and they shared their stories on social media. But it is a tragedy, and I don't like people making up stuff for the sake of likes, um, or attention because people did really lose their lives. But there's something going on in the skies for
Well, you
sure.
sound like you should have. No, you shouldn't have added for sure. It was perfect where you stopped. Something's going on in the skies. Like, and it should have a bum, 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 bum. Like music should have played. Music should have played after that. Yeah, I mean, there certainly are things going on in the sky. Right? We had the China balloon, the drone, um, obviously all the plane crashes. Birds are falling out of the sky. There's a lot going on in the sky. Like personally, like, I think about um, how tragic it is. It's a horrible way to lose your life. I felt for a long time, I was like, no way in hell I'm getting on a plane. Like, I always think about Final Destination. And I'm just like, the amount of plane crashes, that I remember last year, in particular, like in the closing of the closing of last year coming into the new year, and then we've had
Hmm.
more.
Hmm.
It seemed like an alarming amount to me. But I looked into it a little bit further, and it's on par with what is typical in terms of plane crashes. But I'm like,
So
damn. I mean, when these planes, uh,
what do you think of the right saying it's because there were cuts within the FFA, I mean the FAA, air traffic controllers were let go. I mean, do you think that has anything to do with it, or do you
I
have some
blame.
thoughts around that?
My real thoughts are, I believe that birds are only meant to fly. Like,
Interesting.
I'm joking in a way, but it's like you literally are getting in a metal box
Mm-hmm.
and at fast speed going up into the sky. And if the slightest thing goes wrong, you die.
I mean, some of them have been able to land them pretty well.
Yeah, some of them, but when those planes crash, like 60 people, 150 people, that's a lot of, like, if me and you right now, we get in our cars and we go and crash and die. I mean, how many times have you heard of 170 people dying in car crashes? Never, right? So plane crashes are devastating. Um, and there's so much to blame. I mean, it could have been, it could be engine failures. It could be, the winds in the skies are more turbulent than they've ever been. It could be a bird, going through one of the engines and exploding. It could just so much. You just don't know.
Google says around 2.9 million people fly a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, and I get it. They say, well, it's safer to fly in a plane than it is a car. But if I crash in my car, which I've done before, I survive. But if the plane falls out the sky, that is it.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Yes.
Were you terrified the whole time?
Yeah.
Was it a long flight?
Yeah. I went from here to San Francisco.
You were probably, when it landed, you were probably like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I'm on next time I'm driving a Prius from here to the West Coast. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I don't want to live in fear, and I believe in God. I trust in God, and I'm going to Colorado in a few weeks. Um,
God didn't make us to fly.
I've only had one scary flight situation. I was flying into Louisiana, New
Mhm.
Orleans to be exact, and our entire plane tilted to one way. I don't think I've ever prayed that hard in my life. It was my mom and my sister and I were on a plane. And
That's
I was so
scary.
happy. I was so happy to touch down. Like literally everybody on the plane screamed. And the pilot explained that it was turbulence, which I get. Turbulence happens, but I that's the closest that I was like, we're gonna die.
Yeah, the crashes. Yeah, likely. No, I'm not. Listen, man. When you get in a plane, you know you're signing up to die.
So when your baby say, "Daddy, we want to go to Disney World," are you gonna make that 9-10 hour trip in a car?
Of course.
Got it.
I'm an American. I believe in road trips. What kind of family trip is it to get in a plane and sign up for death and then land and then go to the amusement
Oh
park? Like,
wow. Oh wow. Yeah, I
I
can't.
mean, that's
I don't want to
that's
live in
what you're doing.
fear. I don't want to live in fear. Like I was already triggered when we were having the shootings, like shootings in normal everyday places. That already gave me a little bit of PTSD, and I'm trying to get around that. So I don't want to live in fear, but it's it is kind of coincidental how closely they've happened. And I don't want to say that it's intentional to create fear, but when you look at the amount of flights that were scheduled just this week alone, like you could probably go online right now and look. I don't know what you paid for that ticket in San Francisco, because I don't know how long ago it was, but flights are probably very cheap right now because I don't think anybody's flying.
Of course, of course. But look, think about it this way: when those guys got in that submarine, like, oh, we're gonna go to the bottom of the ocean. They signed up for that possibility. When you get on a plane, you're signing up for the possibility that you may not make it to your destination. You're in a metal box in the air.
It's so funny that you make that analogy because I would get on a plane, but you couldn't pay me enough to go down in a submarine, but it's essentially the same thing, I guess.
Yes.
But I would not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing. I don't know if you saw the video of the guy in Alaska. He was in a fighter jet and he ejected, but the plane just fell and crashed, like it exploded.
Was he the one that they recorded where he was flying around and he was saying he let his family down? And then he said, "Could I do?" Oh, okay.
This happened like a week or two ago.
Oh no, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, you like the plane is like falling, like just falling, like it was crazy, and it just exploded. You could see him parachuting down.
Are you talking about the one that was at the military base
in Alaska?
Was that
maybe you
real?
hadn't heard about it? Yeah, that was real.
Well, this one was at a military base, and somebody was recording it.
Yeah.
And you saw him parachute.
Yep.
So I wonder why that's not making the news, because the news will spread other BS that's not important to us, but that's not making the news.
Or what about, did you know about the South Korea plane crash?
Nope. Just heard about it.
170 people died.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, this was December. Yeah.
Oh, December.
Because I remember saying to my wife, I was like, this is coming into me. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I was like, I've been seeing an alarming amount of plane crashes. And when I say stuff, people was like, oh, what? Yeah. Okay. So I was like, sometimes I say stuff to timestamp it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like, remember I said, but when I said it, it was like, okay. And then, yeah. To me, it was like, I don't know what's going on, but there are just a lot, like, and this is globally. I'm like, what's going on? Like, these plane crashes is weird.
Yeah, I would implore people when they see it on social media to really research it, because AI is insane. Because
go
ahead.
The only thing that I don't know is, and the biggest thing I probably pull from it is, like I said, I did a little research, and there are about three crashes a month globally.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
About 3 crashes a month globally. And what I think I'm picking up is maybe the media is just focused on them. So it feels like there's so many. Because, like, when you think about it, we got so hijacked last year in the media with the politics.
Correct.
That once the elections were over, it was like, And so now it's like, what else is going on? Oh, what always goes on? People getting in boxes and falling out the sky.
I man said getting in boxes and falling out the sky.
Shit, that's essentially what it is. I mean, anytime you get on a plane, you don't think to yourself, this is it. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Duh, who wants to think that?
How could you not? Like why is
No,
your plane why
because
does your plane why is your
no,
plane gonna make it? No, it's
no,
not.
I don't want to think that while I'm on the plane because then I'm going to be, my nerves are going to be jacked up the entire flight. So no, I don't think that when I get on the plane.
Just take your Vicodin or whatever.
I just, pray to God.
What's the anxiety medication people can take? Take the
Xanax.
yeah, take a Xanax. You get there.
You know what? Maybe that's why these people are spazzing out on planes. Maybe they're getting so drunk. No,
Yeah,
they don't get drunk when
yeah,
they get on the plane.
yeah. They take man. People taking shots of Hennessy, tequila. People taking their pills. People getting jacked up before they get on the plane. And the stewardess and all of them, the pilots, they drunk.
What?
Yeah, they're drunk.
They're drunk, Tracy?
Yeah. Look up how many pilots lose their license for being for alcoholism.
I mean, I guess if a surgeon can snort coke in between surgeries.
Look, you remember Denzel did the movie? You remember the Denzel movie with the pilot drunk?
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
do.
And the stewardess, they be pill popping and popping Molly because they clubbing every time they land. Yeah. It's
Okay, well,
dangerous. These people, like when you're in the air, you're surrounded by drunkards.
you don't think the pilots are drinking, do you?
Oh, they're doing the most drinking. They're not even flying the planes half the time. Why wouldn't I be drinking if I'm not flying the plane?
They
I'm
just
just here
set
to
the course. They just set the course and put it on autopilot.
I go deep, 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 and then I take my shots of Hennessy
Oh my God.
from London to Japan, and then from Japan to LA,
And
and
that's
then
the
from
thing,
LA.
like a overseas flight could be anywhere from 12 to 14 hours. Can you imagine? In a
That's
metal box,
difficult.
in a metal
Yeah.
box in the sky.
You know how hard it is for an alcoholic to not have a drink for 12 hours?
Oh, those planes have bars on them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So they drinking. They're mile high clubbing it up, drinking,
Oh wow.
talking,
They're just
doing
having
drugs.
straight orgies in the air.
They're having, yeah. And you think
Golly.
you think the creator
Well, you can't even
come
get it out.
on. You think the creator's gonna let that plane arrive safely with all that debauchery going on? Come on, man. You got pedophiles on the plane, you got sex trafficking.
Speaking of pedophiles, I'm going back to this. I do like
Yeah.
the way that Trump is using Chris Hansen.
Using what?
Not the way he made a comeback, Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen. Who's Chris Hansen?
Chris Hansen is the one that you would be talking to online when you were seducing the minor. And then she'd be like, oh,
Oh
come
yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah. I know.
parents aren't here.
Yeah,
And you open the door and it's Chris Hansen. They trying to act like they don't know how they got to this house.
yep, yep.
Yeah, rope them all up and get them off the street.
Right.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. See, I'd be on a flight with him, but I wouldn't be on a flight with DJ Academics. I don't know if that plane's gonna make
No, because he's a dark spirit. So no, that plane's not going to make it.
it. You feel me?
Mm-mm.
So I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, I don't know what's going on with the plane, but
I mean, your president's flying a lot. He's got to go here, there, and everywhere. And he's been fine.
they get the best pilots, the best mechanics, tip top state.
Yeah, I remember one
But
time my
he
son.
he had a scare. Remember, he had a scare in a plane.
When?
Oh, see, I don't have a like people say you have a short term memory. No, I don't. You don't remember when he was going to? I think it was Ohio. The plane. This was after the assassination. He
I
was
thought
playing
they
that mission.
wouldn't let him land because he owed money, allegedly. That's what I thought the circle was.
No, he had a plane, but there was an issue with the plane, something with the engine, so they had to land.
And it was Air Force One?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now that's
No,
scary.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't Air Force One because not Joe Biden.
Oh, this
this
was
was
before he
Trump.
got into the president. Okay, so it was his own plane. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
with his name on the side, and yeah, he had the plane had an issue.
Yeah,
But
that's
then, man,
scary.
after what happened to Kobe and his daughter, I'm like, I don't want to be in a helicopter or
Well,
a
first of all, that
plane.
was a helicopter.
I know I don't want to be in a helicopter, a plane, a flying car, none of it. A paraglider or a hot air balloon. I don't want to. I
Yeah.
don't even want to get on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I got on a roller coaster for the last time. Was it last year or year before last? I'm good on those now. I'm done. I've had my roller coastering. I was terrified. We got on, well, there was two rides. There was one that I got on that was way up in the, the kind of rides where you get on and you can see where you parked way out there.
Yeah, yep,
We're
yep. That's like
stuck.
flying.
We were
Yep.
stuck up there for 5 minutes. I thought I was going to die. I was like, just
Yeah,
there's nobody can push a button and get us down. Like, yeah. So I'm good. I've had my fun. It's a young person thing, but I'm good on that. I
yeah.
don't.
No, I'm not doing it. I'll pass on all that.
Yeah, but you
Anything
got
that
young
requires.
babies. You might not be able to pass.
Hey, listen.
They're gonna want to hit up amusement parks, and Pops is gonna have to ride with them.
Oh no, 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 no.
What you mean no?
Hey, look, everybody who's been born on this earth and have kids has not gone to an amusement park. No, like I think you ever seen A Thousand Ways to Die?
No, because of the name of the title. Mm-mm.
Like there are a lot of ways. You know, some
I
things
saw
you
Final
do.
Destination, and that scared me enough.
There you go. So there are some things you can do that will um, put you in jeopardy, and I do not want to put myself in jeopardy nor my children. So I'm very mindful of the things I engage in. Even ladders.
Even
I don't
ladders.
like yeah I don't like my feet leaving the ground.
Ooh, that old man syndrome is kicking in early on you, isn't it?
Okay, ladders are like that. Like ladder deaths are like one of the leading causes of death,
Yeah, but
accidental
okay.
death.
But to be fair, right? I've seen videos of a lot of these people that fall off ladders and get hurt. And I look
Yeah,
at how the ladder's set up or what support. It's like some of those things,
yeah,
it's like, okay, well, you set yourself up for that.
yeah. They don't
But I,
follow the instructions.
but I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, those people do not follow the instructions. And when you see people fall off ladders, it's the funniest thing.
I know
Especially when
they,
they hit the ground and they say, ah! That sound. It's a universal sound when you fall off the ladder. Ah!
I feel like you triggered. Have you ever fallen off of a ladder?
Never.
No.
I know a guy, one of my customers, he fell off the ladder, broke his back.
Oh my God.
No one was home.
What?
He had to crawl
Oh
inside the
my.
house and call 911.
Oh my God.
He
That's
broke
terrible.
his damn back.
That's terrible.
But
I
look, you
think
can
that
do it. We had all this snow recently. It can happen. You're going down the steps with the ice on the steps. I'm always trying to you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always looking for the devil. Like not today, devil.
yeah, but household falls are the worst. I've tripped over my dog. My son, when he was young, was into Legos and those Hot Wheel cars. And if you're
Yeah,
walking with laundry and you don't see one of those cars and you're barefooted, or just stepping off your front porch and your ankle all of a sudden gives way, it's like, what the hell? What's going on?
damn, weak ass ankle. That's the
Or
worst.
you or you sneeze and pinch a nerve in your neck.
I remember. I think my brother. He said he sneezed or coughed one time and pulled a back muscle.
I've done that before. Back spasm.
Damn, damn. Yeah, look, it can happen many different ways.
Hmm.
And so whether it's flipping or getting up in the sky, I'm not trying to do it. I'm trying to be safe.
Well, be
But
safe, but keep some mace on you too, because when you ain't got to worry about falling out the sky, you got to worry amongst us.
yeah, yeah. The people eaters are out here.
Yep.
Oh man, look. We talked about a lot. Is there anything else? funny that you might want to share before we go?
No, I think that was it. I gave Twitch a shout out. So
Shout
happy
out Twitch.
for
Sponsor
launching
us,
the
Twitch.
DJ
Sponsor us.
Yeah. If they could go after, what is it? Is it No Jumper and Fugazi next? That'd be great. I don't think they have a Twitch. They just have a podcast. But I
Take them
think,
all down.
yeah, anything that's detrimental and doesn't provide any positive content needs to go
100,000%.
because people are getting brainwashed out here in these streets.
Well, once again, we thank you all for checking us out. Please like, subscribe, comment, and until next time.